when I applied to do physics, I was told that further maths was a good addition, so I naturally did further maths as well. And so the first year of physics actually ended up being a bit of repetition in terms of they would cover all of the further maths A-level content for any of the students who hadn't done further maths. And a lot of the first year stuff was A-level based, and then they would expand on that or, correct any simplifications that the A-level syllabus made. And it was almost a gentle glide in, I think, for me. And then second year, it was just pretty much like, right, you're here, let's go. And it was just kind of being thrown in there. And I thought this was just me, but every single person I've talked to, on my course at least, says they found second year the hardest because they just felt so out of grip with what was going on. Nobody really understood how to study properly. So it was just a case of, how do I actually revise for exams? I can't just memorize things anymore. How does this work? How do you remember everything? And I think quite a lot of people were thrown off in second year in particular. And then you slowly start to get into the swing of things. But I think the thing about uni is you're always behind. You always think you're going to, catch up now. This is going to be the year you're going to stay on top. And it's because it's so easy to fall behind, to spend a bit more time on something you don't understand, that it's just something you really come to terms with. I think I kind of liked that university lectures were often quite fast-paced, so it was never something that dragged on for too long, and a lot of the lecturers were, kind of experts in their fields, so it was quite exciting to hear from someone who is actively, doing research into something, and you could kind of pick their brain if you wanted to. And it's just, a lot of the lecturers were very enthusiastic about the things they taught, and that enthusiasm, I think, really rubbed off on the students as well. So it feels a bit like discovering physics for the first time again, I think, because they go over a lot of the simplifications they do in A-levels where, they kind of cut you off and you ask why, and they're just like, you'll learn this at uni if you do physics. And then you actually kind of hear about all of the details and everything kind of starts to fit together and everything starts making more sense. So I think I definitely enjoyed just being able to, really dive deeper, but also more broadly. When I went to uni, I was very focused on getting outside of London. I just wanted to use the chance to get away from home and, just experience what it's like to live away and learn all the skills that come with it. I'm very much a dive in head first kind of person. So I'm just all in or all out. So I just pretty much went, I'm leaving London, My parents were a bit panicked about that too, just because it's something, it's encouraged to stay with your parents, and it gives your parents a peace of mind, I suppose. So I think a lot of students from ethnic minority backgrounds, in my school at least, did stay at home while studying and did stay in London because it's comfortable, it's what but I just very much disliked that idea, so I just went. My first choice was Durham at first, which is very far. And I ended up at Nottingham in the end. And I think I definitely really loved the experience of new scenery, new place. But then I think in my head, I just assumed it's going to be a similar dynamic to my high school. And when I got there, I realized the dynamic was obviously very much different. It was students from all over the country, and especially because I came from a slightly more deprived area, so it's a state school as well, and then you had students coming from private schools and grammar schools from very well-off areas. So it's definitely quite strange, I think, a strange integration, seeing all those kinds of different backgrounds that also show in conversations that you're having with those kind of people, whether it's positively or negatively, really. But I think there are also at least when I arrived at university, it was quite overwhelming in the sense that I think there was a lot of peer pressure. And it's something that's talked about quite a lot at university. People always say, you don't have to give in to the peer pressure, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, you don't have to go do Freshers Week or whatever if you don't want to. But I think there is an internal peer pressure rather than external. It's not people forcing you to. Hopefully nobody will make you do something you don't want to, but I think it's easy to feel like you're getting left behind because as soon as you get to uni, everything is very fast paced because it's a new environment, everyone's very excited about the new place. And so it can sometimes be easy to feel like you're getting left behind if you don't conform to whatever societal standards are of, a classic new British white university student. So I think that was a bit of a hectic start for me, but it definitely, I think I found kind of my balance after a while, and so it worked out in the end.